Hey everybody, it's me again. I'm so bummed because I made personal flashcards of Maya Angelou's Still I Rise, and I was going to put music in the background and then put it to the computer screen, and I realized that I did all of these little cutouts backwards. Like, you know how you have to write ambulance backwards in order to actually see it from the camera view? So I just thought that I would read it instead because, you know what, it's just been on my mind, and there's been a lot of things I've been going through lately. Don't mind the workout hair. Still trying to lose those pounds. I'm down 15 pant sizes. 15 pant sizes, like, what the fuck? It's awesome, but I still want to go further. Anyway, so just ignore this. But I wanted to share one of my favorite quotes. This is my vlog, and I'll explain after why I wanted to read it again and why it's important to me. So it's called, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's called Still. There we go. Like I said, I know it's backwards, but it's called Still I Rise. If you're one of the percent of the population who hasn't actually heard of this, and that if you haven't heard of this poem, then I really suggest that you go out there and educate your mind, because it's not only a beautiful poem, but it's empowering. It also talks about a person who went through so much and wrote so wholeheartedly what they felt like inside and still chose to get back up. And like I said, I'll tell you after me doing this why I feel like it's a big deal to me. So poem's called Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. First line, it says, "Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awfully hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines, digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me down with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds rubbing in between my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of horror, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream, the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. So I'll probably get that laminated. That was the poem, by the way. And you're part of probably the 1% of the population, at least in the United States, that if you don't know that poem, you might want to I don't know, figure out some history, read a fucking book. I don't know, but anyways, so I worked my step yesterday with my sponsor, and it was so fucking cool. Working steps is awesome, period. But so I got to work with my sponsor yesterday and go over my step, and I just, didn't really, at least I went into this step thinking I'm ready for the next one. I just want to get this one out of the way. There's just more growth that needs to be done, and I'm here and I'm ready. Give it to me. And, basically, what my sponsor told me that I didn't really realize the whole time I shared my step was that she, she said, one of my biggest assets is perseverance and willingness. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess, I mean, if I'm like bound and determined to do something, I won't stop till I get it or whatever. And she's like, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, how life has knocked me down like so many times, is what she said. How all these life events have knocked me down, and then I still just, it's not a matter of fighting it with me. There's never been like an ounce of like, you know, um, I don't know how she described it. It's not like a competition. It's not like oh my God, I'm devastated. She just kind of explained to me, like, you literally, with everything you've gone through, you get up and you keep going. She's like, even the when you OD'd and died, even in all the car accidents I've been in, like in the 9-month period that I was in, all the hurt and the pain that I've experienced, and the trauma that I've gone through, she really put into perspective for me, like, I still get the fuck up and I keep going. And so this is one of my favorite poems, and I don't feel like talking very much tonight. I know that the other night I was so tired and I kept talking, and it's like tonight I can't even like get myself tired there again. But anyways, yeah, so after that, I promised a sponsee slash friend of mine that I would go to this meeting with her. And so I did. And I was fucking terrified to go. Um, and yet I went, and something was a twinge in my spirit, like maybe I shouldn't go, or there was a reason why. I wish I would have listened to that a little more, but I remember telling my sponsor, like, I just felt really uncomfortable about it. Like, I was like, I don't know why, but I just like don't want to go. And like, there's just like something gnawing at me that like tells me not to go. And usually I listen to that when that, feeling comes over me. And nonetheless, basically, she was just like, that might be like an unhealthy fear. Sometimes we can't tell the difference between a healthy fear and an unhealthy fear. Like, am I avoiding it because I'm afraid somebody might be there that I don't want to be around or like? Because if that's the case, I need to go anyways, because it's not about the people there, it's about the message that I'll receive. Or is it because I feel like my life would be in danger? And I'm like, well, no, duh. Like, it's 90, I mean, like 100%. I don't think I've ever been to a meeting where I physically have been in danger, ever. So, I mean, I've been pissed off at people and people have been pissed off at me, but I've never been to a meeting where I felt like my physical safety was in jeopardy. No, not at all. So when I said that, she's like, well, then you need to stick with your plans and you need to go and you need to share. And I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, and I will ask just to make sure. And I'm like, oh, gee, thanks, Mick. Yahoo. Anyways, but I did it, and I knew exactly why I felt the way I felt all day about that place as soon as I got there. I hadn't gone to that meeting since it was downstairs in the basement, and apparently everybody is upstairs. And when I tell you that, like, probably the entire meeting hated me, I wish I was kidding. Um, and maybe that's just my perception. I tell people about this all the time, and I really forget to practice it on myself sometimes. Like, perspective is a motherfucker, just because, like, it just is, like, how I view a situation can make all the difference in, like, the butterfly effect type shit. But in my reality and in my head, I felt like 3/4 of that meeting hated me, just hated me. But I got to do, like, I think I might have even said this last night or the night before, like, I got to right some wrongs or whatever the fuck. And so that felt really good. But at the same time, it was just like really shitty. Like, I just didn't want to be there. Like, I'm not a firm believer in going where I'm tolerated. There were people there that were celebrating clean time. And like, when I said mine, I swear to God, most of the room was just woo. Like, I fucking worked my ass off for that year clean, okay? Like, I had 8 years clean. Well, I was shy. I was 1 month and a week shy of 8 years clean. So this one fucking year that I just got is a big fucking deal because I thought I would never give it back. I died 23 times before I got it back. I got in 5 car accidents before I got it back. And like to get a kind of fucking clap was a little fucked up, man. And I wasn't even gonna say anything, but on the way back with the people that we came with, they were like, "Dude, did you notice?" I was like, "Oh my god, I was never gonna say anything because it's not about me. I don't want to seem self-obsessed." But I felt the same way. I was like, "Yeah, I definitely fucking felt that way." And so, but then other people were like celebrating clean time, and they were just like, "Dude, congrats!" And I'm just like, just what the fuck? But you know what? Still I rise. Like, fuck that. Like, I will rise from my ashes like I already have, and I will continue to push on like I already have. And like, I will fucking go where I'm celebrated. Will I be back to that meeting? I don't know. I guess now that the hard part's over, like, okay, I know who goes there and all this stuff, like, maybe. But I feel like unless some things change, I'd be setting myself up for some bullshit I quite frankly don't even want to be involved in. And so, by the way, that's like paint. Anyways, and so just, yeah, I don't know, I just didn't like it. But then I got quickly reminded that it's not about me. I did open my mouth and share like she asked me to. And I have been crying at like everything lately. It's not about me being on my period or bipolar or anything like that. Like sometimes I cry for other people in this universe who don't allow themselves to cry. I'm that empathic that sometimes people don't fucking cry. So I cry for them. I think of the people that when I don't have an answer to why I'm being so emotional, I say I'm crying for the people in the world who don't allow themselves to feel. Or sometimes I actually do have an answer as to why I'm crying. Sometimes they're happy tears too, you just never know. But I'm trying to be more unapologetically me and be, who I am and celebrate who I am and be where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. And like that's so far been a pretty rough journey because it's like a lot of people over here don't like me, which I quite frankly don't really give a shit about. And then there's me and my nice little introverted, non-anxiety ridden bubble. And then there's all these people over here that I don't even fucking know that could potentially like change my life and help me and gift me with all of who they are. And I don't give them that opportunity because this is my bubble of comfortability. But what I know the most about is that when I start to cry and things start getting uncomfortable, that means I'm growing. That means that life is changing and that I'm crying for other people and I'm crying because I have trauma and I have been through a lot. And whether it's self inflicted or not, it doesn't matter. I've been really emotional and it's not about my friendly, monthly visitor at all. Like I hate when people say that, like I have to have some fucking excuse. And like it's crazy that this is even coming out of my mouth because if you were to ask people in my past or anything like that, like if I would I ever be saying these words out of my mouth, like they'd be like, is that the same Natalie we know? But it is, I promise you it is. And like I'm almost gonna cry now because like I've worked really fucking hard to get here, you know? So anyways, like I said, I've been crying at like everything. I'm speaking Sunday at my home group and I'm eager to get started on my new step. And there was some other things that I was gonna say. I got to talk to a really awesome newcomer. She was 19 and scared to death, and I was talking to her about how when I first got clean, I woke up wanting to get high so bad that I would just I was so anxiety ridden too. And like, I got this white coin chip from AA, and on the back of it, it said the Serenity Prayer. And I'd hide in the bathroom and I'd grip the shit out of this little coin and continue to say that prayer over and over and over and over until I felt like I was safe to come out or took a deep breath, and then I would come out and then repeat, repeat, repeat. And then like I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna use after the meeting. I'll use after the meeting. That way I don't go to the meeting fucked up. and I'll make it there, and then I'll come back, and that's when I'll get fucked up. Well, I was telling her this, I would go to the meeting, and I would leave, and I realized that I went to bed all peaceful and shit, and I wake up the next day and I realized I didn't get high. Like, what? I totally was like planning on getting fucked up after that meeting, but I'd wake up again and be like, oh, fuck, I want to get high again, like so bad. And I told her, like, I just kept telling myself, wait until the meeting's over. Wait until you get to the meeting, get high after the meeting, everything will be fine. And sooner enough than later, I kept finding myself just staying clean day after day after day because every time I left a meeting, I didn't want to get high anymore. And on top of that, I told her that, like, when I first started coming, I would come 5 minutes late and leave like 10 minutes early because I was terrified for anybody to touch me, anyone to know my name, anyone to like fucking remotely think that I had a problem or some fucking issue, like God forbid. And so, like, I don't know. She just could really relate to that, and I got clean at 19, and so now I'm like gonna be 30. Oh my God! But just I remember what it was like to be that age and to be that terrified and to be that anxious, because sometimes I'm still that crazy and anxious and terrified, but I'm not that age anymore. But I remember what it felt like, especially being 19 and being like, am I a dope fiend for real? Like, maybe, am I? You know, but I know now that I am. And she said that, she was sharing with me that she sometimes thinks that, well, maybe she was just young and made some mistakes. And I'm like, honey, I just fucked up the whole, like, not a whole rest of my life, but I fucked up a whole bunch of shit in my life with that reservation right there. So just let's nip it in the butt because people don't usually end up here by mistake. What else? Just, I don't know. So that was really cool. I'm kind of like all over the place, but so like that did happen at the meeting. So I was like, okay, that's a blessing. But it absolutely killed me to fucking go there. Just, I knew once I got there why my spirit was so like, like red flag, because I have not been to that meeting since it was in the basement with all the chairs in a circle. And though the upstairs part felt more intimate and closed in, like I'm telling you, like 95% of that meeting hated me. And then I talked to my sponsor and she's like, well, maybe you think that 95% of them hate you. And I'm like, okay, well, 95% of them didn't want to look me in the fucking eye or hug me or anything. Fuck them, fuck that. I don't really care. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean it in like it just doesn't matter. And the relevance of my life and me getting better and moving towards my spiritual, path, that doesn't fucking matter. Anyways, so moving on, I had a client tonight and I gave a reading to, and it was really cool because I love what I do for a living, so to speak. And I can't wait until it becomes like my whole income. I don't have to worry about um I don't want to have to worry about getting a paycheck somewhere else. Like I can just have that instead of having to get supplemental income as well, or insurance or anything like that. But I mean, I was just telling somebody earlier, like, I need like a design because I want to get a t-shirt, and then like I want to have a logo on the front, and then I want to have all the services I offer on the back of it. And I'll be damned, like I was just having this conversation earlier with my client about how, like God's putting more and more people in my path, and I'm doing more readings and, and doing astrological counseling and couples counseling and all this stuff. And I was like, I just need like the little things, like a design for my business card, or I want to get a t-shirt or two. And I need people to start putting reviews on my page on Facebook and stuff like that. And anyway, so like fast forward to this evening, somebody fucking like just messaged me out of nowhere and just like all of a sudden started popping off these graphic designs of my business name into these graphic designs. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how did you know this? I was like beside myself. And he was like, I don't know, dude. I just believe in everything you do and everything you say. And like, I just felt like really led to like give back to you somehow because I don't know. I just felt led to do it. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I don't know. He's just like, I really dig what you're into. And like, you've always been supportive of me. And like, everything that you offer, is life changing and all this stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, I was just telling my client earlier about how I wanted to like be more legit. Like, I want a business card and I want to get, a t-shirt. And he started, even after saying that, after he'd already sent me like 7 fucking designs, he sends me like 7 more, 8 more, I don't know. But I was like, oh my God, is this real life? Like, I felt so blessed. And like, he kind of taught me some PR stuff regarding my Facebook page, which Be Woke is my Facebook page, BE space woke, WOKE. And you can get anytime, if you're in the St. Louis metro area, anything like that, you can book an appointment with me at bewokebooking@gmail.com at any time, as long as it's a week to 2 weeks in advance. And prices depend on services. So, but we can get the ball rolling on that whenever. But anyways, it was just so cool. Like, God is good. I mean, I literally was just telling my client earlier that, and then I get back to the house and it's like, hey, I just thought I'd start. I mean, I literally, the conversation like started with him sending me all these graphic designs. I'm like, what the fuck? But you know what? That's how fucking cool my God is. And I told my sponsor yesterday, whenever we were going over my step, I said, I more often than not find myself lately saying to my problems how big my God is, instead of saying, God, these are how big my problems are, because God's way bigger than my problems. God can fix anything. God can make shit happen and disappear in minutes. Like my creator and the universe and my higher self and this whole fucking alignment, like, it is just, I am blessed to my core right here. And my throat chakra is where I rule. I'm a Sagittarius, hey, but this is where, purity comes from, the honesty. I don't know if I have, like, unless I'm using, I don't really have like a lying bone in my body for real. And I just have came a long way, and I've just been so blessed. And I can't, I'm scared, because a part of me that's been so beyond grateful and blessed lately has been like, well, maybe it's because you've had a year clean and you're feeling like all these new feelings, because I used to have like 8 years clean, and you do get this like ride the wave of, a really happy trail. And then I always tend to wait for the shoe to drop. But like, if I'm constantly waiting for a shoe to drop, then I'm going to stay in that mindset and I'm not going to be successful. God has brought me clients. He's grown my gift immensely. He has flourished, and I say he, but like, I'm not sure what the fuck he is. So we just need to keep that clear real quick. My higher power, my higher self, my intuition, my alignment, all that is like one big ball of everything that I take from. I take what I need and I leave the rest from pretty much any sort of religion. I'm not religious at all, and I don't think any. I believe my followers, and everybody knows that by now. But nonetheless, yeah, so all that good stuff. I just got really blessed. And if you want to check out my page, it's called Be Woke. It's on Facebook. Like it. I got to upload some pictures to it here in a little bit, because I want to promote some good friends' business that I know. They do wire wrapping around crystals for necklaces and jewelry and all kinds of stuff. And they take real stones that, even I use for like cleansing or healing or any of that stuff. And so I want them to thrive. And, like the person that was doing graphic design for me, they like literally booked a fucking like show with Project Pat. Like, they're opening for Project Pat at Pops. It's $3 to get in on September 21st. And $3, and this dude just, I would have done this anyways. I would go and support him, but he just flourished me with all this beautiful shit for my business. And I mean, what's $3 in a drive over the river, Like, that's just how I am. Like, he's fucking been down for me the second that we met. It's funny, but I can't talk about that part on like the interwebs. But we're really fucking close. And who knows? I'm not straight though. So, anyways, moving on. I love him dearly, so dearly. Oh, is my little bug moving? He's sleeping back there. He's snoring. It's so cute. I'm gonna shut up. It's just going on 25 minutes now. I was like, dude, I only want to do like a 10-minute video tops. Here I am, fucking reading Still I Rise and still talking, but like my life is good today. I am for sure speaking this Sunday at my home group. I fucking love my home group because unlike other fucking home groups, and I shall not mention names, we practice the first tradition pretty fucking thoroughly. You know, I walk in there, I might look a hot fucking mess. I still get a hug. I might walk in there thinking that my shit don't stink. I'll still get a hug. Uh, we're all about like, do you want to go out to dinner or let's talk or this and that. Like that fucking shit's hard to come by. I'm grateful to be a part of a home group that's just all inclusive. Like our literature does not say unity can sometimes be practiced. It doesn't say that unity is cool every now and then, or unity is just bullshit. It says unity is a must. I have to be real with that because that's why I know that I can't do this alone. As much as I want to say the world hates me, let me clam up in a ball and not be helped by anybody, and I'm fine. It's me and God. I'm okay. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Our traditions are what we go. It's like guidelines, and the first fucking one says unity is a must. Pretty plain and simple. Doesn't say kind of, doesn't say maybe later, doesn't say, back whenever you did so. No, it says right the fuck now. Right now and forever and always. Right this second, unity is a must. It just is. And we practice that there. And I feel like, especially when I was struggling to get 30 and 60 and 90 and 30 and 60 and 90 6 months, then I was 9 months and then I used again. Like, I mean, I'm a hot mess with this hair today, but who gives a fuck? We do that there, and that's a beautiful thing. So I'm gonna shut up. Like I said, this is already going on like 20, 30 minutes. But I'm grateful and I'm happy with my life today, and I am loved and I am cared for, and God has got me wrapped around his awesome little fingers. I've got big fingers, and I rise up above everything, and I'm taken care of all the time. If you see this and you're in the St. Louis metropolitan area and you would like any of the services that I offer, visit Be Woke on Facebook, or you can email me at bewokebooking@gmail.com and we can set something up. I would be happy to help, or if you need some guidance in some other areas and I'm not able to help you, I know a lot of the people. I have a huge network as far as individual entrepreneurs, so maybe I could point you in the right direction. Um, Other than that, I think I'm going to sign out of here, but just in case, I want to make sure that everybody knows that I appreciate if you're listening this far, that I love you and I love myself and I love all of us together enough to continue to work on myself and be a better person. And I'm a work in progress, just like everybody else. And so basically what that means is I gotta keep humility and willingness on the front burner at all times. And I really thought, like I began this video, I really thought it was really cool that my sponsor noticed how every time I was like talking throughout my step, like she just kept pointing out like how every time I hit an obstacle, I got the fuck up and I kept going. I mean, it was so evident by that point that I was like, damn, dude, I do. And I don't like tooting my own horn. I feel really like I get so afraid of sounding, self-righteous, but like I do. It's okay to be like, fuck yeah, I do. Like I do. I fucking go through shit, and no matter what the fuck happens, as long as I'm still breathing, I fucking get the fuck up and do what I need to do to continue. I mean, there's so many things I could have been like, oh, I'm done. I'm gonna wallow in this shit and give up, like my sponsor said, and I haven't. And so, with that being said, I am highly blessed and favored, and I am celebrated, and people do love me, and I'm just really grateful for a lot of things in my life, including what I've been gifted with, and I love helping others. I really fucking do. I love that intimate thing that, intimate relationships with people. So anyways, I will stop now. Thank you for listening this far, like I said, if you're still with me. And I hope you have a blessed day. And remember, above anything else, you will rise.